Welcome back. Today, the vast expanse of American numismatics, few coins have sparked as much intrigue, fascination, and speculative value as the 1974 Jefferson Nickel. A simple 5-cent coin by denomination, yet for some, it holds a symbolic worth far beyond its minted face. The journey of this particular coin offers a unique perspective into not just its monetary value, but its place in American culture, history, and the collective imagination of collectors. Minted during a transformative era, this coin has become more than just currency. It's a piece of the American story that some believe holds a face value of an astonishing $74 million, a number that both stuns and invites deep curiosity. The Jefferson Nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, which had been in circulation since 1913. The series featured the image of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, who was revered not just for his political contributions but also for his intellect, vision, and contributions to the founding ideals of the nation. The Monticello, Jefferson's stately Virginia estate, graced the reverse side of the coin, symbolizing the elegance and philosophy of one of America's most influential figures. By 1974, the Jefferson nickel had undergone decades of subtle evolution, reflecting changes in minting technology, public tastes, and economic priorities. Yet, the coin retained its iconic design. The 1974 edition was not particularly rare in terms of mintage, with hundreds of millions produced across the Philadelphia and Denver mints. However, it is not always the rarity alone that determines a coin's value. It is the stories it carries, the historical circumstances it witnessed, and sometimes, the myths that surround it. The 1970s were a turbulent time in the United States. The country was navigating the aftermath of the Vietnam War, the Watergate scandal was unfolding, and there was growing social and economic unrest. Inflation was on the rise, and the value of money was in flux. Coins, especially those made of valuable materials, began to disappear from circulation as people hoarded them, hoping they might become more valuable over time. The 1974 Jefferson nickel, minted during this era of uncertainty, carries with it a symbolic weight. It represents a nation at a crossroads, a currency in question, and a people searching for stability. Collectors often look for uniqueness, errors, variations, and peculiarities that set a coin apart from the countless others like it. Some 1974 nickels are said to have been struck with off-center errors, double dies, or anomalies in the planchet that render them one of a kind. These imperfections, rather than diminishing the coin's value, enhance it significantly in the eyes of the collector. There are also stories of proof coins or uncirculated examples that have surfaced in pristine condition, fetching astronomical prices at auction, but perhaps the most captivating aspect of the 1974 Jefferson Nickel's lore is the claim of a $74 million face value. This staggering figure is not officially recognized by any mint or numismatic authority, but it has gained traction in various collector circles and online platforms. It symbolizes the idea that a seemingly ordinary object, when viewed through the right lens, can be elevated to extraordinary status. In a way, the $74 million figure is not just a monetary claim, it is a testament to the coin's cultural impact, its symbolic resonance, and the way value is often constructed by belief, desire, and narrative. The fascination with coins like the 1974 Jefferson nickel taps into a broader human impulse, the desire to find treasure, to uncover hidden worth, to possess something that others overlook. It is the same impulse that drives people to metal detect on beaches, to comb through jars of loose change, and to attend coin shows with hopes of discovery. The possibility that a 5-cent coin could be worth millions plays into a fantasy that is deeply rooted in the American psyche. The idea that anyone, at any time, could strike it rich. Beyond the monetary aspect, the 1974 Jefferson nickel also holds historical value. It represents a moment frozen in time, a tangible link to the past. Holding the coin, one might imagine the hands it passed through, the purchases it facilitated, the pockets it rode in during events both mundane and monumental. Coins are witnesses to history, they circulate through generations, carrying with them the silent echoes of lives lived and times past. That it is important to understand that the declared value of $74 million is not about intrinsic metal content or official appraisal. It is about perceived worth, collector passion, and the stories we tell ourselves about what we hold. In a way, every coin is priceless to the right person. For the Jefferson Nickel of 1974, this symbolic value has taken on a life of its own, amplified by online discussions, rare finds, and the allure of the extraordinary hiding in plain sight. Throughout history, coins have been used to commemorate, to honor, and to educate. They reflect the values of a society and act as portable pieces of art and memory. The Jefferson Nickel, in particular, with its stately portrait and classical architecture, serves as a quiet reminder of America's ideals, liberty, democracy, and enduring legacy. When you consider the historical context of 1974, the cultural shifts, the economic transitions, and the social transformations, the nickel becomes more than just a coin, it becomes a story. Stories, after all, are what give objects meaning. A nickel is a nickel until someone tells you it might be worth millions. Then it becomes a mystery, a puzzle, a dream. People begin to search, to speculate, to believe. The myth grows. Whether or not the 1974 Jefferson Nickel is ever truly sold for $74 million may be beside the point. Its perceived value lies in the possibility, in the conversation it inspires, and in the way it turns a simple coin into a symbol of hope and wonder. In recent years, the coin collecting community has seen renewed interest in mid-20th century American coins, particularly those that were common in circulation but are now aging into historical artifacts. The 1974 Jefferson Nickel falls squarely into this category. It is old enough to be considered vintage, yet recent enough to still be found in some circulation. It bridges a generational gap, offering something for both seasoned numismatists and young collectors just beginning their journey. The internet has played a huge role in the revaluation of coins like the 1974 nickel. Social media, YouTube videos, auction sites, and coin forums have amplified stories of incredible finds, rare errors, and unexpected wealth. The digital age has allowed collectors to share information, debate authenticity, and spark interest across the globe. In this new landscape, the 1974 Jefferson Nickel has found a second life, propelled by curiosity, community, and sometimes a bit of sensationalism. One of the enduring fascinations with coins is the way they blend the material and the metaphysical. On one level, they are simply metal discs stamped with government-approved designs. On another, they are relics, investments, and sometimes even tokens of belief. The 1974 nickel may be small in size, but in the minds of some collectors, it is vast in significance. It represents not just the possibility of financial gain, but a connection to something larger, the history of a nation, the creativity of its people, and the enduring power of dreams. It's also worth noting that coins, especially those with potential value, often gain their legendary status not from government mints or official channels, but from the grassroots movements of collectors and enthusiasts. The legends are born in basements, at coin shows, in dusty boxes inherited from grandparents. They spread through word of mouth, through posts and videos, through whispered speculations and gleeful declarations. The 1974 Jefferson Nickel, with its rumored multimillion-dollar value, thrives in this ecosystem of intrigue and imagination. As you hold a 1974 nickel, or any coin, really, you're holding a piece of time, a fragment of a nation's story. It is a reminder that value is not always measured in dollars and cents, but in meaning, memory, and the magic we attribute to things. Whether it's truly worth $74 million is perhaps less important than the excitement it generates, the questions it raises, and the dreams it fuels. After all, every great treasure hunt begins with a possibility. So if you come across a 1974 Jefferson nickel in your change, don't dismiss it. Examine it carefully. Look for errors, study the mint mark, consider its condition. You might not hold a $74 million coin, but then again, who's to say you don't? The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and sometimes, the most remarkable discoveries come from the most ordinary places, and if you found this story fascinating, educational, or simply enjoyable, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more incredible coin stories, and share it with fellow enthusiasts. The journey of coin collecting is one best traveled together, and who knows what other treasures might be waiting just around the corner. Next, 1989, the United States Mint struck a coin that, at the time, seemed ordinary, a 5-cent piece, also known as the Jefferson Nickel. These coins were a staple in American currency, used daily in transactions, given as change, collected in jars and drawers across the country. Millions were minted, and millions found their way into circulation. But hidden among the countless ordinary coins, one particular year and design has captivated collectors and historians alike, the 1989 Jefferson Nickel. Its rise from simple pocket change to a coin worth an incredible $89 million has taken the numismatic world by storm, transforming the way people think about seemingly ordinary coins. The Jefferson Nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, the coin featured a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his home, Monticello, on the reverse. For decades, the design remained consistent, becoming one of the most recognizable coins in circulation. By the time 1989 arrived, the Jefferson Nickel had already cemented its place in American monetary history, but no one could have predicted the monumental significance the 1989 issue would one day carry. The 1989 Jefferson Nickel was minted in massive quantities at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Over 1 billion nickels were struck that year, far from rare by typical standards. In fact, these nickels were so common that most Americans never paid them a second thought. They passed through hands, cash registers, vending machines, and parking meters without notice. Yet over time, as collectors delved deeper into the history of U.S. coinage, something unusual emerged. A tiny fraction of these coins displayed unique traits, minting errors, die varieties, or unexplained anomalies, that set them apart from the rest. One such coin, a pristine 1989 Jefferson Nickel with a rare minting error, surfaced at an auction decades later. It had been kept in near-perfect condition, untouched by the wear and tear of circulation. Its surfaces gleamed, its strike was sharp, and its details were exceptional. Experts confirmed it had been struck on the wrong planchet, a planchet meant for another denomination. Others speculated it was a transitional error, struck using dies prepared for an experimental design that was never released to the public. Whatever the reason, the coin's rarity was undisputed. Bidding escalated rapidly, and to the astonishment of all present, the final hammer price soared to $89 million, instantly making it one of the most valuable coins in history. But how could such an extraordinary value be placed on a nickel? To understand this, one must explore the deep psychology of collecting and the forces that drive the value of rare objects. Coins, like rare paintings or ancient manuscripts, are tangible connections to the past. They represent history, craftsmanship, and sometimes mystery. A coin that was never supposed to exist, or one that carries a 1 in a billion mistake, can ignite fierce competition among collectors. The 1989 Jefferson Nickel, especially the rare variants and error coins, captured the imagination of those seeking a one-of-a-kind piece of American numismatic lore. The story of the $89 million Jefferson Nickel quickly spread through the numismatic community and beyond. News outlets picked up the story, drawing public interest. People began checking their change, scouring old collections, and visiting local coin dealers hoping to find a similar piece. Social media lit up with theories, discussions, and photos of 1989 nickels. The phenomenon became a cultural event, not just a numismatic one. Historians and economists also took note. They examined the conditions under which such a coin could command such a staggering value. Part of it was driven by market demand, wealthy collectors vying for a unique piece of history. But there was more to it than supply and demand. This coin symbolized something larger, the idea that value can emerge from the most unexpected places. It challenged perceptions about worth, reminding people that history often hides in plain sight. Collectors revisited the 1989 minting records, trying to uncover clues about how such a coin could have been produced. While the official mint reports from that year made no mention of extraordinary issues, some believe that rogue dies or experimental processes may have briefly entered production before being shut down. Others propose that mint employees, whether intentionally or by accident, created a handful of off-metal strikes that escaped detection. These theories only fueled further interest, as the unknown added a layer of intrigue that made the coin even more desirable. Coin experts began categorizing known 1989 nickel errors and die varieties. Some featured double dies, where details like Jefferson's profile or the word "Liberty" appeared duplicated due to die misalignment. Others exhibited off-center strikes, broad strikes, or planchet anomalies. Each error added a level of uniqueness, increasing a coin's value depending on its rarity and condition. However, the legendary $89 million example remained in a league of its own. Its combination of pristine preservation, extreme rarity, and mysterious origin elevated it to mythic status. This sudden surge in interest for 1989 Jefferson Nickels led to a renaissance in coin collecting. New collectors entered the hobby, lured by the dream of discovering $1 million coin in their pocket change. Coin shops reported record foot traffic. Auction houses began featuring Jefferson Nickels more prominently in their catalogs. Educational content exploded online, helping people identify errors, understand grading systems, and appreciate the finer details of coinage. The 1989 nickel had become more than a coin, it was a movement. Over the years, only a handful of similar high-value 1989 Jefferson Nickels have been authenticated, but none have matched the condition or price of the $89 million example. Still, lesser variants have sold for tens of thousands and even hundreds of thousands of dollars. For many collectors, the thrill lies not only in finding such a coin but in being part of the broader story it represents, a story of discovery, of history hidden in everyday items, and of the extraordinary potential that lies beneath the surface of ordinary life. As the value and mystique of the 1989 Jefferson Nickel grew, so too did its place in pop culture. It appeared in documentaries, news specials, and even fictional portrayals in movies and books. Writers used it as a symbol of overlooked value, of second chances, of the idea that greatness can emerge from the most unlikely sources. The coin became more than metal, it became metaphor. Today, the 1989 Jefferson Nickel serves as a reminder to collectors and non-collectors alike that history is not always grand or obvious. Sometimes, it's as small and unassuming as a 5-cent piece. And yet, that tiny coin can carry a story worth millions. The next time someone holds a nickel in their hand, they might think twice before tossing it into a jar or using it to feed a parking meter. That coin might hold a secret. It might be a key to a hidden chapter of American history. So if you happen to come across a 1989 Jefferson Nickel, take a moment to examine it. Look for errors, examine the strike, observe its condition. Could it be one of the rare variants? Could it be hiding something unique? Could it, perhaps, be the next $1 million discovery? The answers lie in careful observation, a little luck, and a willingness to see value where others might not. The world of coin collecting is full of such stories, quiet, patient tales of history rediscovered, of lives changed by a single object. The 1989 Jefferson Nickel is one such tale, one that will continue to inspire curiosity and wonder for generations to come. And if you've enjoyed this deep dive into the incredible story of the 1989 Jefferson Nickel and its unbelievable $89 million value, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more amazing coin stories, values, and histories that might just change the way you look at the change in your pocket. Next, 1999 Jefferson Nickel stands out as one of the most captivating coins in the history of American numismatics. Born in a time of transition and technological growth as the 20th century drew to a close, this 5-cent piece captured more than just monetary value, it preserved a historical moment in metal. As the last Jefferson Nickel struck in the 20th century, its legacy is embedded in both nostalgia and rarity. drawing collectors and investors alike to its modest silver-gray glow. Though originally produced for everyday commerce, the coin's evolution through the years has turned it into a potential fortune for those who happen to hold the right version in mint condition. The Jefferson Nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. It featured a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, designed by Felix Schlag, and Monticello, Jefferson's historic Virginia estate, on the reverse. This design remained relatively unchanged for decades until subtle updates were made in the early 2000s. The 1999 issue, however, retained the original artistic elements, making it the last of an era before the significant Westward Journey redesigns in 2004 and 2005. This places the 1999 nickel in a pivotal historical position, bridging the traditional design and the modern evolution of American coinage. The United States Mint produced Jefferson nickels in 1999 at both the Philadelphia and Denver facilities. These coins are identified by their mint marks, P for Philadelphia and D for Denver, which appear to the right of Jefferson's bust. Although they were produced in large quantities for general circulation, only a small fraction have survived in pristine condition. Among those, fewer still possess the high-quality striking and flawless surfaces necessary to command premium values in the collector market. It is these exceptionally well-preserved examples, especially those with errors or anomalies, that have catapulted the coin's worth into the realm of big money. Collectors often seek out coins in mint state, MS, condition, graded by services such as PCGS or NGC. A Jefferson nickel from 1999 graded MS 68 or higher is considered exceptionally rare. Such coins must be free from nicks, wear, and discoloration, showing full sharpness in detail, particularly around Jefferson's hair and the columns of Monticello. Even slight imperfections can significantly affect a coin's value, so coins graded MS 69 or MS 70 are truly exceptional, and few, if any, have been certified at that level. The allure of the 1999 Jefferson nickel doesn't end with condition alone. Certain die varieties and minting errors from this year have created further intrigue. These include double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and die cracks. Each of these anomalies tells a unique story about the production process and creates a layer of uniqueness that standard issues cannot offer. For instance, a 1999 nickel struck on a misaligned planchet or one featuring doubling on the word Liberty or Jefferson's could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on visibility and grade. These errors are accidental yet celebrated, a paradox that heightens their value in the eyes of collectors. In recent years, awareness about rare and valuable coins has grown due to viral stories, online marketplaces, and televised coin auctions. This surge in public interest has brought coins like the 1999 Jefferson nickel to the forefront, especially when news circulates about a coin fetching a massive price. One such report involved a flawless 1999 nickel with a known error and top-tier grading that was privately sold for tens of thousands of dollars. The media coverage spurred a wave of people examining their spare change, dreaming of discovering their own hidden treasure. The so-called $99 million face value attributed to this coin is, of course, symbolic and plays into the storytelling mystique that surrounds it. While no individual 5-cent coin is legally worth $99 million in currency, the idea underscores the notion that a seemingly common object can possess astronomical historical and collectible value under the right circumstances. In the world of numismatics, value isn't always defined by denomination. It's influenced by condition, rarity, demand, and story, and the 1999 Jefferson nickel has all four in abundance. For those passionate about coin collecting, the 1999 nickel is more than just a metal disc, it's a connection to a moment in time, a reflection of a nation on the cusp of a new millennium. Holding one in your hand feels like holding a piece of American history. The turn of the century brought not just fears of Y2K and advances in digital technology but also a renewed appreciation for tangible heritage, things we can hold, observe, and pass down. Coins are among the most tangible of all historical artifacts. They speak to us through their images, their dates, their wear, and their oddities. The market for collectible coins continues to expand, with more people recognizing the potential long-term value of items once thought ordinary. The 1999 Jefferson nickel is now viewed through a different lens, one that appreciates not only its role in commerce but its artistic and historical contributions. As more high-grade examples are discovered and submitted for certification, the competition grows fiercer. This has led some to speculate that values for the finest known examples could continue to climb, especially if market trends hold steady. Beyond just being a coin of monetary interest, the 1999 nickel also reflects the evolution of minting technology and the U.S. Mint's commitment to preserving historical integrity while embracing innovation. Even within the tight tolerances of modern production, accidents and rarities still occur, reminders of the human touch in an increasingly mechanized world. These rare occurrences create excitement, add to the narrative, and give collectors a reason to keep searching. It's important to recognize that not every 1999 nickel is a jackpot. Most are still worth their face value, useful only for change or vending machines. But the dream of finding that one rare gem, lurking unnoticed in a jar or purse, drives the heart of every collector. That dream is the heartbeat of numismatics, the hope of discovery, the joy of ownership, and the thrill of historical connection. The future of coin collecting is bright, and coins like the 1999 Jefferson Nickel serve as gateways for new generations of enthusiasts. Whether motivated by profit, curiosity, or a love of history, those who delve into the world of numismatics quickly realize that every coin tells a story. The story of the 1999 nickel is one of transition, value, mystery, and potential. It's a story that continues to unfold in auctions, in collections, and maybe, just maybe, in your own pocket. That if you've made it this far, you now understand why the 1999 Jefferson nickel holds a special place in American coin history. From its iconic design to its rare errors and high-grade examples, this coin proves that even the smallest denomination can carry tremendous weight in value and significance. Whether you're new to coin collecting or a seasoned veteran, always keep an eye out. History sometimes hides in the most unexpected places. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time and treasure. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, share it with fellow collectors, and subscribe to our channel for more incredible stories about coins worth big money. See you next time with another piece of history you just might be carrying in your change.